Hello, y'all. Don't mind that. That's where I've been working out. But I hope you're good. I hope you're doing good. Life's treating you well. And yeah, here we go. We're back with another one. Okay. For the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. There are some things that must be done on your own. And it has her like reading, doing what is that called? Oh my gosh, like pendulum, to speak with spirit. And that's a good way to tap into your own intuition, because a lot of times, especially when we grow up in traumatic upbringings, we can lose our connection to ourselves, to our intuition, and to spirit, and it can be a little bit confusing at times. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about tapping back in. Prayer is something that I've done throughout my whole life, and meditation is something that I've done without knowing that I was doing it. But the more that you do it, it's prayer is the talking, is the asking, is the seeking, is the searching, is the unshoveling, and meditation is the listening, the receiving, the accepting, the knowing. Underneath that, it says Knight of Cups, romanticize the present moment every chance you get. So, for real, like, you are the main character, and you are meant to really embrace your life, like, really enjoy your cup of coffee, and, like, fully live. I don't know how to explain it. Like, when you're in the negative mindset, and then my cat just jumped out the window. And the low vibrations, it's hard to see how beautiful your life can be. We can feel overwhelmed. We can feel, for me, a lot of times um, it was overwhelmed with all of the things that weren't going on and all the things that were going on, and trying to find the beauty in those moments despite the chaos, and recognizing it took me a while, but in time I found, like, tidying up my energy, my space. Like, all I needed to do was just spend time here, taking care of myself, taking care of my home. It's a beautiful place to be. There's drama, traumas, and chaos no matter where you are, right? But when you find that peaceful spot within yourself, and you're able to embody that as you go throughout your life, and wake up in the mornings and not feel this pressure and this weight, these giant to-do lists, these um, material illusions of who we are and what we need to do. When you clear up your space, when you clear up your energy, another big thing that people don't always think about is, like, setting boundaries, and releasing people and places and things, taking time and learning to get comfortable sitting with yourself, and sitting with your mess, and accepting where you are in life, the good, the bad, the changeable, the parts that are beautiful about your life are always there. We just don't always recognize them. The more that you look for the good and the positive, the more that you'll see it, the more that it shines through. And although it's good to, go into hermit mode, spend that time alone, isolate yourself, and really like heal yourself, study, read about the world, like all of these different things that we do, everyone is guided to do different modes of transportation out of their cycles, right? Like some people cycle down into drugs, some people work way too much, some people overeat. There's a lots of different things that we do. Some people party too much, some people give too much to the community and don't take care of themselves. And so perhaps you're spending too much time by yourself, or you're needing to reset and take that time to tidy up your life, to reset your boundaries, to reconnect with the world, with people, um, to rebuild. Perhaps you're looking at the negatives instead of the positives, and it might not be such a in your face life of blessings and beauty and love, but the love is always there regardless, because we are all love, we are all God, and we are created in that love, in that loving image. And it takes great strength to be soft, but these are both in reverse. So it makes me think, perhaps you're having too strong of a blockage for yourself with people and with the world. And maybe, hermit mode is good and all, but too much of it is not good either. So perhaps you're needing to soften your heart, soften your world, like be in your receptive feminine energy. So good ways to do that would be like meditation, watching a romantic movie or funny movie, playing with your pets, taking a bath, journaling, self-care routines like face masks, doing your nails, things like that. Whatever makes you feel good. Tidying up a little bit is good, but also um, not doing too much, recognizing that too much is really too much. I know it's so right. But like sometimes we get caught up in having to do all of these things and be all of these things and get all of these things done, and then we can relax, and then we can receive the love, and then we can receive the reward for our hard work that we've put in. But you deserve that loving space and time for yourself, and to connect with divine, to connect with yourself, to connect with the animals and the people that truly love you and truly see you. And if you're not taking time out to care for yourself and to give that to yourself, then you're not going to find it elsewhere. And, sometimes it's good to be a little lax with our life in a way, but I feel like this is saying that it might be in the beginning stages. You might not feel the full balance of your feminine and masculine, of all the work that you've been doing. A lot of times we work every day, and it takes so long for us to see the benefits of the healing that we're doing, of the shadow work, of walking away from confrontations, of taking that time to sit with ourselves, being uncomfortable, being learning to be comfortable sitting and waiting in the patience. And that it doesn't have to be such a big overhaul of your life. It's in the moments, every moment, you're receiving the love, the opportunities, the grace, the understanding, the wisdom, that you're always right where you need to be. You just need to take that time, like keep working on the goals and the focus that you are in, because you are on the right track. And maybe you've been spending too much time in your receptive mode and you're needing to, or you've been spending too much time in your masculine mode. I'm sorry, too much work, too much go, 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 too much discipline and not enough free flow, too much adult and not enough inner child, too much work, not enough play, right? We all need to play in life. We can't work every day. We're not meant to. We're meant to work. We're meant to create. We're meant to heal. We're meant to grow, but we're not meant to drain ourselves and overwork ourselves, lose ourselves. Soul Star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. So, we're all of us, as we go through life, we meet different people, and those are contracts that we are destined to play out for various lessons, karmic, soul activations, for the level ups, right? For the awakenings. To remember who you really are, the God energy within, your spiritual body, your Merkaba, your energetic field, your cosmic origin, your true origin, your true purpose for being here. To love, to heal, to learn, to shed, to grow, right? And then we have Octurian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. So, literally, like when you take time out from the world and you set your boundaries, you clean up your space energetically, physically, detoxing with foods and substances, drinking your water, cleaning your space, donating things, um, releasing old patterns and habits from childhood, from your teenage years, from your young adult years. You are allowing yourself to renew, to be in the future and the present, to um, recall your true, authentic soul essence, right? Like to embody your spiritual self in this life. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you are, ancient, and we have all this knowledge, and we have our ancestors have all this knowledge. It's encoded within our DNA, and it's a part of us, and it creates so much of who we are. And so much of the time we get stuck on all of the negative things of our family, of our past, of the world, and there's so much more to it. And the light is so much bigger, so much brighter, so much broader, and so much more encapsulating. Like, it is the creation. Without it, you have nothing. And yes, without death, you can't have the renewal and the rebirth. And so there is that need for the darkness, there is that need for the contrast, but that is not to be overshadowing of the light. It is never to be more than the light, you know. And when you learn to take care of your space and yourself and your life in these ways, and you know, really receive the intuitive nudges and downloads that source is trying to speak to you every day. There's synchronicities all around us. There's, you know, these miracles every day, and we don't see them because we're so distracted. We are so cluttered in our mind and in our space with people, with things, with time, with to-do lists, with everything. And we don't need all of those things, you know. Try fasting for like a meal or a day. It's surprising. There's times that I've fasted where I just didn't want to eat anymore, and I felt like I could keep going forever. There's other times where I thought I was going to die, and there's times where I felt so hungry from just skipping one meal, and it was just wild. There's other times I went 3 days without eating, and I was just like, wow, I could really do this. And then I find out like I'm one of the people that are not supposed to be fasting for long periods of time. Like it literally makes me super sick sometimes. And I just kept trying because I wanted to have that connection, have that healing, have the deliverance. And um, I suppose there's just different ways that I need to go about it. And I wasn't doing it quite the right ways for me. And that's the thing, like, there's all these different avenues for healing and for coming into yourself, and you know, hobbies and different types of people, and different places you can go. Like there's so much that this world has to offer, and we only have to look for the good. We only have to look for the light, and it will be shown to us. You don't have to work out 3 times a day to get in shape. You don't have to stop eating all the everything completely to be your healthiest version. Like you can moderate, but I do want to say, like, there's something that changes when you fast from it. Like sugar is one of the things that I still to this day struggle with, and when I fast from it, it's interesting how disgusting it is when I go back to it, but how like it would literally be like the only thing I would eat sometimes, like just sugar, sugary food, sugary drinks, and like it wasn't giving me energy, and it wasn't helping me in any way. And recognizing like I don't need all those things. You don't need all those people. You don't need all that money. You don't need all that responsibility. You know, clear up your life, redetermine what is fitting for you at this point and what is destined to be removed. And honestly, the more that you naturally flow into what you're being guided to do, like if you're being called to just like hang out by yourself and watch movies, or um start working out at home, or going on little nature walks, if you're being guided to go to a group event, something like that, like we all have our different intuitive nudges and they work for us. Like divine God is with and is all of us, right? And it's constantly communicating with us in the ethers and in the physical realm to get us on the right path, to get us to where we need to go. And we just oftentimes don't stop to listen, to hear it, to see it. And we don't clear our physical, mental, emotional bodies out enough to recognize the truth of the reality, you know? So, um, I personally have a tendency to do like constant self reflection and constant re updates, constant, uh, like deep cleanings and reorganizations and, inside and out of myself. And it's literally, it helps me feel as though I'm in a new space. The energy is clearer, my mind is clearer. Um, it helps me to remember that those things that I was feeling so drawn to, those things that I was being distracted to, those things that were calling my attention and my focus, those were not what I needed to be focused on. Those were not what God was calling me to do. These are not the things that God divine has for our highest good. And when you sift out those people, places, and things that are no longer serving your highest good, when you honestly look at your life, zoom out and observe it, what can you change? Words, actions, behaviors, and do it. Just don't hold back, because you're the only one that's stopping you is you. The only thing stopping you is you, your choices, your words, your actions. And yes, we all have our negative patterns. We have negative cycles at times, and not everyone does, but a lot of us do. And it can be hard to get out of those, but recognize that you do have control, and you are the one who has to stay disciplined and consistent on any level, whether it be somewhat, partially, once a month, whatever. Like, we're not always in the space to be the best caretaker for ourselves, but as long as you're trying and doing your best, you will get there. It takes time, regardless if you're going full steam ahead or if you're taking your time, if you're taking lots of rest breaks. There's times that I had no energy, I could not do anything, and I hated it. I had so much to do, and all I could do was just lay in bed, and it was rough as hell. And then there's other times where I have so much energy and I have no will to do anything. And that was really hard, because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what is going on with my life? There was a lot of old programming that I was working through. There was a lot of psychic attacks. There was a lot of manipulation in my life, a lot of gaslighting, a lot of healing that I needed to do for a long time. And it was a rough road, but it could have been a lot easier had I known a lot of the things that I know now. But we all have our own paths, we all have our own journeys, and we have to make the mistakes to learn the lessons, truly. Because you can read all the stories, you can watch documentaries, you can know people firsthand, you can promise yourself you'll never do these things, you'll never be these people, and yet your life lessons are your life lessons. And the way that you move in the world will determine everything. But essentially, always comes back to the I am presence. It gets you back to who you're meant to be. It gets you back to the source. Gets you back to your true divine self. Regardless of what messy path you're on right now, what shit you've got yourself into, what shit other people are throwing at you, keep going. Keep breathing through it. Keep stretching and taking care of yourself and feeding yourself good words, good foods, your water. Move your body, create your art. Remember that you're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly who you need to be. And you're tapping into the I am presence of yourself every day that you wake up and step into your power. Every day that you wake up and allow yourself to be exactly who you need to be. And this one came up twice, so I wanted to show it because it came up earlier for me, and then it just kind of popped up a little bit. It says crystal skull wisdom, clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy. So maybe you are tapping into your higher divine energy right now. Maybe you are tapping into your I am presence. Maybe you are recognizing and accessing the divine within, the clarity from your ancient lifetimes and timelines, right? We all have these parts of ourselves that are so much more than our physical selves. And we just have to allow them to unfold. The wisdom is within. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for hanging out.